Episode 29, baby.
29. Clutch.
We're almost there. 29 straight weeks.
Almost where? Where are we going?
To 30, I don't know. We'll be matching my age.
Oh, I'm not going there.
Real millennial, right here. Right on the end of the millennial.
Friday the 13th.
World. That's right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Real Estate Raw and Uncut. This is episode 29. I'm Byron Lazine with Tim Bray. As always, catch us every single Friday. This week, we've got a topic about the next bubble to burst. If it bursts, which every bubble does.
We're talking about China?
No, we're not talking about China. You can go back and watch a video on our rant on China. We're talking about college debt in America. Or as Obama would say, America.
Did you see that thing with Obama this morning? He was reading this skit and it said,
I can't pay too much attention.
How do you see the light in my eyes?
I haven't seen it.
You should put a flashlight in my ears.
Come on. We are not riding either side of the political line, just so you know. So college debt in this country continues to grow. It's getting out of control. College is expensive. Everybody believes they should go. And we want to, basically talk about how that is affecting the real estate market, the economy overall, and especially millennials. Because right now, those are the ones that have been going through these years of college and the increasing debt and taking out the big student loans.
It's a domino effect, right?
Yeah, it affects everything.
So it's kind of like if you want the $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 range to move, you got to have the first-time home buyers that are willing to come in and invest their money, get a loan, buy a home, go through the process of paying down the mortgage, getting an increase in income, and moving up.
Yeah, so the people in the mid-range or the lower to mid-range,
they're relying on it.
They can move up. They can sell their home to somebody, move up, and everybody can kind of move up the ladder.
So the question is, what does it take to get a loan today? What do you need?
You need some sick credit.
Okay, your credit has to be better because we just went through the Great Recession.
Yep.
Okay, and the pendulum has now swung, so the criteria to get a loan is tougher.
You need a little bit of dough. I mean, if you're VA or something like that, you can go zero down, but there's fewer options to go zero down than there was during the peak.
So you need a job.
You need a JOB. You need some dough.
So one of the things here, as far as the job
if you're going to mortgage your property.
And the majority of people in the country do.
Yeah, especially if you're a millennial.
Mm-hmm. So you need a job. Now, the issue with the job is that the millennials, you look at, the unemployment rate has come down, but actually the millennials have their unemployment rate.
Millennials, baby.
Is twice as much as the other people.
Ooh.
So you have people that have been out of work for a while, and now these guys that have put their time in, they've been getting educated, and they are competing against people that have been in the workforce for 20 years.
You're not calling us millennials lazy, are you?
It depends. Possibly some.
You're not calling them entitled, are you?
I think entitlement is definitely an issue, and that comes with technology. Yeah. It comes with instant gratification.
Yeah.
And wanting something now and not putting the time in. I'm not talking about you because I know you're a gardener.
I like instant gratification too, but going back to something we talked about last week, you've got to do both. If you have technology at your fingertips, use it to your advantage, but use the stuff that it always worked, the ground and pound, the face-to-face, all that kind of stuff. But, yeah.
So we've got these two. How about, what else do we have that you need? Well, typically you've got somebody that has been married. Mm-hmm. So in the past, well, let's look at the past. Actually, from 1940 to 1970, okay, and let's look at those years.
A little before my time.
Not that far back, though.
No, right.
The people that were employed, the actual incomes grew by 44% per decade.
Wow.
And it's only been since 80 through today, it's been roughly 10%. So if you were back then and that had actually that ratio had carried through, the typical male would be making $194,000 a year today. So,
and they're not.
They're not.
Just in case you were wondering, if you're a millennial about to apply for your next job, you're not going to be getting 194 most likely.
So we've got some issues out there, that are hurting the real estate market, and you're seeing a ton of. That's why you're seeing the rentals as far as, you know, everybody's renting right now, and everybody's scared to death after what they've just seen. Even if you do have a job, like, you don't know if you're going to lose it. You don't know what's going to happen. We've just gone through the Great Recession.
That's right. It's a tough time for millennials because everybody is telling you should go to school. But if you're going to get out of college with $100,000 in debt and take a job that's paying you $30,000 a year, do the math, right, on that and figure out if it's a good move. Because college is not going to be the right move for everybody. If mommy and daddy are paying for it, go all in on that, you know, take advantage. But if you got to take out debt, you might want to look at something else. There's opportunities out there to make more money honing a craft, becoming skilled, adding value.
It still takes an education, whether it's electrician,
that still takes an
plumbing.
education.
Master your craft, though.
Master your craft, but not every craft out there
is going to require
a college education. Right. If you want to put the time in to learn something,
get this number. There's $1 trillion in student debt right now.
Yeah.
$1 trillion. Okay? There's some sick competition out there for the jobs. Now, I think another episode, how do we create more jobs in this country? And we can go into that later.
Yeah.
But I think, let's go back to, so we've talked about income.
Yep.
We've talked about it's tougher to get a loan at this point, and we're saying the typical person is married, and we're seeing, you know, with the equality that's out there, you know, females are getting educated just as quickly as the males are, and we're all striving for exactly the same thing. This is getting tougher and tougher, and people are not getting married. You know, they're relying on themselves.
That's right.
And well,
Renter Nation.
It is. I mean, the rentals are going through the roof.
Yeah.
So what's the last?
New York City, I just saw a report yesterday that the rent rates just continue to skyrocket.
There's demand,
and it's actually happening around here. They're building multifamily everywhere that they can just go out and rent. They're not going to do the thing they did when the peak happened, with condoize everything. They're going to go and rent these now because they see the opportunity. And there's a lot, to your point, there's a lot of single millennials. I think it's going to get tougher. There was a report in the NAR yesterday that said millennials are most likely to use a real estate agent.
Okay.
Great news if you're an agent, but too bad they can't buy most of them, right?
Well, now we're talking ratios, right?
Yeah.
Because in order to get this loan, you've got to have extremely good credit. You've got to qualify. What about Obamacare? Throw that on top of it. So now you've got a couple $100.
Yeah, I mean, that can go both ways. It's you got to pay for insurance one way or another. So that's more of a touchy topic that I don't want to touch.
I'll touch it. We'll get into it later. But, you know, it's just another payment.
Yeah.
And as far as absorbing the risk of maybe some of the other age groups that are out there,
right?
It is the younger people that are healthy that are absorbing that according to that policy.
I mean, the younger peeps can stay on the mommy and daddies till they're 26.
I'm sensing some kind of a thread or something about mommy and daddy and silver spooners. I'm feeling
no.
something's going on.
I respect the spooners.
You know? I like to spoon.
Well, you know. All right, guys. I think we'll end it right there. Raw and Uncut. You guys got to check out my new banner, Jill Przlocki Lucky Design. Check it out. She made a new banner for the YouTube channel. It's on my Twitter channel, @Byron.
Thank you, Jill. That was sick.
Jill's phenomenal web design. If you're anywhere in the country, hit her up. You can email me at blazine@seaportre.com. I'll get you her info. Check us out every week.
Peace. Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Be careful out there.
Black cats.
Every Friday, real estate, raw and uncut.